Why don't we start with table 1. Mario, your group.
Thank you, Jeff. So we had a really healthy dialogue here going around the table. And our 2 topics, voter turnout and government accountability. And so I have a couple of bullets for each. With regards to voter turnout, fighting or combating apathetic folks, it can be challenging, right? So we came up with bullet number 1, which is HOA membership. We were discussing it's all tied into the homeowners association. Also, a possible tax incentive for voters, getting folks out to the polls, right? So when you talk about your SAWS bill, CPS bill, possible garbage bill as well, getting some type of tax incentive to make it attractive for folks to go out and vote. And then also civic education in schools. So really pushing that. A lot of our schools do a fine job. How can we enhance and build upon what's taking place now to really get civic education into younger adults and to kids? Government accountability, our next topic. So increase awareness surrounding public...
hang on, Mario. First of all, we got the practical matter of Elena Marie running over here. But actually, before we move on a couple of these items, and I think this is an open question, not just to Mario. Okay. HOA membership. How do we turn that into action? What specifically can we do tapping into the membership to get people, to encourage people to vote? Neighborhood. Good point.
Homeowners association or neighborhood association.
She makes a good point. HOA, of course, are the mandatory ones. They're often created by developers as they develop a community. Neighborhood are more grassroots, organized in inner city neighborhoods.
Right.
Yes, sir. What percentage of the city would be involved? Oh. I don't know if we know that number off the top of our head. I think his question is how much of the city's population is represented by HOAs, neighborhood associations? Okay, that's a good point. His point was we're not here to necessarily debate every idea. Let's get them all on the table and let everyone, which I think is a good point. Okay.
Yeah.
So move forward. My bad, guys.
Okay. No. So government accountability. So going back to that, increase awareness surrounding public access channel 21, right? A lot of us know that the council meetings are on that channel, but kind of increasing that so that the overall general public knows that. Also, the availability of council meetings, so going to maybe VIA and having that information advertised on the side of buses, so getting the word out. It's kind of tied into the first bullet. And the last one, return on our investment, so our tax dollars, making the results known and really communicating that out to the general public. So folks feel like their tax dollars are being put to good use. And it really comes back to communication on all 3. I'm sorry? The third one, so return on investment, tax dollars. Communicating the results, where those tax dollars are going. So people feel comfortable with the process, in turn, really showing government accountability and transparency. The city's doing a fine job now. We're just discussing here of how to increase it. So.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. All right, table 2. Who wants the mic here?
Okay. What we came up with really and truly was, first of all, is what are the fundamental reasons that we don't have a voter turnout? And at this table in discussion, we figured it out. There's poverty, there's the immigration situation, and there's a cultural barrier to voter turnout. Those are the fundamental reasons. And what we came up with that possibly could change this would be, first of all, I think our city leaders need to be more respectful of their voters so that they will show those who don't come out and vote that their voices will be listened to, first and foremost. Secondly, This will help to build trust in the citizenry, and therefore they will register to come out and vote because they'll feel that their voices were heard. And the third thing is they need to select possibly more people from the general community to participate in the commissions and the advisory boards so they hear from those who are disenfranchised. They don't own homes, so you can't give them tax credits on property because they don't own it. They're poor. They're the working poor class. They rent. So select some of these people. City officials need to look at these people. You will educate them. You will register them. You will get them to vote, and you will get them to become civic leaders and citizens that will make the city move forward in 2020. Excuse me. Yeah. Well, this would be not only in city council. I'm talking about boards, advisories, and commissions, and also make it easy for them to go to these meetings. They wait and they have them late in the evening downtown, and somebody may have 4 kids and they can't make the meetings, but they have something they have to say and they can't do it. As far as accountability, we came up with really and truly only 2 of these, and I think they're basic. One is the city truly ready to hear us? Are they? Because if they're not, we can be spinning our wheels. Meeting after meeting, committee after committee after committee. Are they willing to hear the criticisms? And if they are, then that means they're accountable, and we can be proud of our city. The second one is they need to be genuine with their information, and they need to start to share it. Great. We're webcasting. We're on the internet. There's a lot of people who are poor who vote who don't have a computer, don't have access to a computer. Start providing information on your B sessions in council, which is what you're going to discuss to vote on. Put it in La Prensa. Put it in the newspaper. Talk to the Express News, the only newspaper in the city, and ask them, please, put down the B session discussions. You know what's going to be on your agenda. Give the citizenry an opportunity to see what's going on before it goes on. And the third one, and I have to come up with this one, that is, at City Council, Council needs to learn to respect those who come up to speak. They're not listened to.
Elena Marie, I think that second item, just to make it specific, is agendas published in the media. Is that correct? B session and agendas.
Yeah, we were talking about the B session.
Right.
It might be on the clerk's website.
Right, but you're saying in the Express News, La Prensa. Okay.
Put out there before the decisions made by the 6 or 8 council.
Got it. Yeah, agendas, council and B session agendas published in the media before meetings. Yeah. Let me just let her catch up here quickly.
Facilitator.
Yes, sir.
Channel 21 is not the direct television flow, and everyone does not have access to cable.
21 is cable. Right. Good point.
And it's not free.
Okay. All right. She's frantically writing up there. Just give her just a second. All right. Table number 3. What were your 2 topics?
Leadership training and building capital.
I think it.
Okay, leadership training and building capital. We felt that one of the important points to make is leadership needs to start in the elementary, secondary, and going through college. Start creating the pipeline of our leaders in our community. As an example, Optimus Club has a great program. The pilot project out at the Harlandale School, where Young Elementary School, Adamsville, is got a mayor and a banker, and it's really developing their leadership skills. The other area was the Neighborhood Resource Center. Better customer services to the NAs and the HOAs. What is their accountability and metrics? Some of us feel that there's not enough information that is given to new leaders when they take on HOA positions. Leadership training for all the current leaders, that includes nonprofits, church organizations, neighborhood associations. we need to do a better job of training those individuals when they take those positions, or providing them resources where they can get that training, and trying to make it very, non-expensive, because a lot of times that will detract from registering for these opportunities. Our employers need to support their employees' involvement in civic engagement. Get more behind their employees and encourage them. We have already some good leaders in our community like Valero and USAA, but if we could work with the chambers in trying to get stronger commitment to that, that would be great. Boards and commissions are the training grounds, so that is something that we would like to see more emphasis in terms of employers encouraging their employees to get involved. A volunteer website, that was one of the things that Francine, I think, put up there as a resource tool that's used in one of the cities. The dilemma that we find here in San Antonio is you want to volunteer, and I think Francine mentioned that, but there really is no way for you to figure out where you can use your skills and your talents. So having some sort of a central resource for anybody who can just click on the City of San Antonio and figure out where they could volunteer.
Excellent. And actually, before we go to table number 4, I just realized I failed to introduce another very important resource here. Leticia Vasek is the city clerk for the City of San Antonio. And yes.
I just need to say one thing, and this is just for your information. I did have some packets, although I don't have enough, as you can see. I only brought 25, and I've given out most of them. But if you need some information as far as volunteering to help serve on any city advisory board, that is all available to you online. And I know for those of you that don't have internet service, we do have libraries that allow you to go in there and use their internet service free of charge. If not, just come on into our office and we'll help you and find the board that you'd like to serve on. These packets that I have handed out to some of you do have that information. I have 3 left, so for those of you that are interested, I have 3.
And I say she's very important in this process because she touches a lot of the areas we're talking about. Candidates file to run for office, they do it through her office, agendas and so forth. Basically all the process-oriented communications take place through the city clerk's office. Megan, with table 4, what were your topics?
Our 2 topics were voter turnout and government accountability. I'll start with government accountability since you're already over there. The first thing that we said would be important to do is to engage media outlets, which was already covered by another group. But we think just general coverage of public meetings, and then also just making policy issues a more vocal or more interesting part of the newscast here in town, less car wrecks, more public policy issues. The second thing that we talked about was educating and organizing community organizations within the community to better contact and work with elected officials, making sure that they have organization within their meetings and they know the proper ways to get in touch with their elected officials and make sure that the opinions of the people within their group are heard in the correct way. A third idea that we discussed was being able to participate in city council meetings electronically. As you know, they're in the middle of the workday, and it can make it hard and difficult for a lot of people at jobs to get down to City Hall to participate in that. We talked about being able to participate through electronic whiteboards, chat, maybe citizens to be heard through actual video chat. So that was kind of an out-of-the-box idea that we had.
Okay, excellent.